Ladies and gentlemen, mabuhay o marayan. This is the JIB race. The sky is the limit.
For cognitive, metacognitive, and technical professional skills begin. Catch us in March 15 to 17 as we reboot hospitality, tourism, and culinary skills on screen. This is the Global Skills 2021. Today's response, tomorrow's success.
Mabuhay and Badayaw. I'm Alfe from Bachelor of Science in
To the management of the Georgia Ilagan International Schools, to our corporate dean, department heads, faculty members, events committee, and to our invited guests who will be introduced formally later, and of course to our guests and to our beloved students, a pleasant afternoon. I would like to thank everyone present virtually today. So far, we have 109 participants from across JIB International Schools and other parts of the world. Mabuhay ug madayaw. On behalf of the Global Skills 2021 Organizing Committee, I would like to welcome everyone once again to the final part of this Global Skills 2021 with the theme Rebooting Hospitality, Tourism, and Culinary on Screen. Today's response, tomorrow's success. Cooking is the process of selecting, measuring, and combining of ingredients in an ordered procedure in an effort to achieve the desired results. Factors affecting the final outcome include the variability of ingredients, ambient condition, tools, and the skills of the individual doing the actual cooking. In this year's event, the students learn how to cook with certain ingredients harmoniously and a wide variety of cooking methods with analyzing the characteristics of food and create the special dishes despite the pandemic. Later, we will show you all the wonderful sweet creations which the iChef students participants produced for dessert plating, charcuterie board, and cake display competitions. This afternoon, you will witness all students showcasing their skills in cooking live for the entree and a laminate cooking challenge from the convenience of their own homes. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome our host for this afternoon, the President of the iChef Supreme Student Council and a fourth-year Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management student, Mr. Romeo Alcazaran.
Thank you very much for that introduction, Chef Pepot, and thank you for introducing me so generously. So good afternoon, everyone, to our guests, to our dynamic and ever supportive faculty and staff who are with us today, to our fellow students and our guests from different institutions around our country and around the world. And of course, to our guests who has shared their generous time with us today. So despite their busy schedules, they are here with us today to join us in the celebration of our Global Skills 2021 with the theme Rebooting Hospitality, Tourism, and Culinary Skills on Screen, Today's Response, Tomorrow's Success. So before we officially start, may we call on Ms. Ami Abalunan for our prayer. Okay, it seems that we have a bit of technical problems. So before we proceed on showing you the different outputs of student participants across the different schools of Georgia Ilagan International Schools, may we ponder upon the theme of this year's Global Skills 2021. So Global Skills is typically held in the recent years at, of course, Ayala Abriza Mall in the atrium for a lot of audience to see us, of course. So this time around, due to circumstances that are unforeseen, no one expected this, we are already holding this virtually via Zoom. So despite the challenges that we are facing, extreme challenges that we are facing, we're still able to hold this year's Global Skills 2021. So it goes to show that the JIB Pride core values are very much being lived upon by members of the JIB community. So of course, with that, with the theme Rebooting Hospitality, Tourism, and Culinary Skills on Screen, today's response is tomorrow's success. So of course, it was during a seminar that I have attended a few weeks ago, it was said by the World Economic Forum that the pandemic challenges that we are facing are a lost time for the youth. So this goes to show that we must not, this goes to show that this is a challenge for us to utilize our time, of course, in our respective homes to do what we can best do. So we can train, of course, continue to learn online with our academic requirements and responsibilities. And of course, it brings us closer to our friends and family ties. So with that, we must take, of course, the opportunity of this given time that is provided to us to improve ourselves, because this is the first step into rebooting the hospitality, tourism, and culinary skills. We must take first our self-improvement. With that being said, it is very much my pleasure to be your host for this afternoon. So before we proceed, may we acknowledge guests who are here and our faculty and staff. Of course, we have Miss Georgie Rose Parondo. Good afternoon, Miss. Sir Kenneth Oreo, of course, he is in charge of our technical committee. We also have Miss Anne Margaret Piling, have Chef Philip Diaz, of
Hello.
course, our chef and our iChef program coordinator. And we can see in the chat box that Chef Pollard is with us today. Good afternoon, Chef. So it's been a long time. So of course, the students are all students across the network of schools of Georgie Ilagan are also here with us today. So may we remind everyone to please take your attendance with the Google form link that is provided on your screens. So again, we're reminding the students to take your attendance so that it can be recorded. Here it is. Here is the QR code. You can scan it via your phones. And of course, the link is provided at our chat box. So thank you very much, everybody. So moving forward, we will be presenting you the different outputs of students that has been presented on our Facebook pages. So the different Facebook pages of our schools. And not to mention that our Zoom conference and event this afternoon is being held live at our Facebook pages as well. So let us begin with our dessert plating competitions. I have saw a lot of pictures in our Facebook pages and it looks wonderful. It goes to show that iChef students are still and of course will always be globally competent when it comes to the culinary, hospitality, and tourism arena. So let's move forward with our dessert plating competition. So here is the mechanics for our dessert plating competition. So participants must wear the proper kitchen clothing. Of course, that includes chef's jacket, apron, and skull cap. And of course, due to restrictions, some students may have left their student uniforms at their respective dormitories or in-house places in the city of Davao, and having gone to their province, they may have it unavailable to them. So we are advising them to, of course, wear the plain white shirt, apron, and cap or hairnet. It's very important to wear those. So each participant must prepare and plate one dessert using at least one Davao ingredient. So of course, we would like to showcase what Davao has truly to offer, because in Davao, life is here. And of course, the dessert may be hot or cold, and participants are to plate the dessert in a plain or single colored plate. So of course, it would be able to emphasize the colors of the different desserts that they are going to present, and of course to exhibit the simplicity and elegance of each dessert. All items or decorations in the plate must be edible. So there are no things that are in the plate that cannot be eaten. And all equipment and tools needed must be provided by the participants. So those are the mechanics for our dessert plating competition. So for the criteria for judging, each participant are able to garner a score between 0 to 50, composing of uniqueness, elegance, and fine decoration, that is 10 points, technique and up-to-date presentation, that is 0 to 10 points as well, visual impact is 0 to 20 points, degree of difficulty is 0 to 5 points, and reflection to our theme is 0 to 5 points. So let us present our first dessert, plated dessert. So here we have Mr. Kazuki Adlaon from the senior high school, grade 12. He presented us with the durian tart ala Kadayawan, very much Davao. Kadayawan is one of the most sought after festivals around the region and the country as well. So the durian tart was paired with a strawberry reduction sauce, topped with fresh fruits, candied lemon, and a brush of mango reduction sauce. To the side is a miniature durian cake. So I think the durian that is being presented there resembles the durian statue that is erected in front of Davao International Airport, welcoming guests around the world. So that is again Mr. Kazuki Adlaon with his durian tart ala Kadayawan. Next competitor, please. So for our next competitor, this is the Decadent Fudgy Brownies by Mr. Jana Caspillo, a Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management 1 student. So I think this is her first global skill. So we'd like to wish you good luck and welcome to iChef again. So the Decadent Fudgy Brownies is a chewy, dense, so thick and so fudgy. Oh, seriously fudgy to take that note. The ultimate dessert for any chocolate lover. So I presume that the chocolate used was locally sourced and grown here in our city. So that is Miss Ajana Caspillo with her Decadent Fudgy Brownies. So for our entry number 3, we have Mr. Jesse Andre Legarta, a BSCM1 student again with his Balisungsung or the Suman of Bicol. The steamed rice in banana leaves, very classic here in our region and of course the country as well. Made from Bicol, and this is one of the famous dessert of Bicolanos. So that is again Mr. Jesse Legarta with his Balisungsung. For entry number 4, we have Mr. John Fred Valen Gomez, a Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management, third-year student with his Di Cacao chocolate souffle with vanilla ice cream and brownie soil. So cacao chocolate souffle, very Davao again. We have it is a delicate egg-based dish which originated in France, has a very fluffy and airy texture. Adding to the feels is the brownie soil, which adds some bite and rough texture. Then lastly, enhanced by the rich vanilla ice cream taste. So very well thought of. As you can see, it is very pleasing to look at. That is again Mr. John Fred Valen Gomez with his Di Cacao chocolate souffle with vanilla ice cream and brownie soil. So moving forward, before we move forward, may I note that all these desserts that are being presented are already pre-judged by judges that are handpicked by our organizing committees. So let's move forward with our 5th entry. So we have Miss Hana Paula C. Nishimura, Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management 1 student with her brownies a la mode. So very classic, a super easy dessert recipe. So despite everything, Miss Hana Nishimura's been able to produce this. Picture a warm brownie fresh out of the oven and topped with vanilla ice cream and sprinkles and cherry. So there you can see her brownies a la mode by Miss Nishimura. So moving on, let's welcome our entry number 6 for the dessert plating competition. We have the Tropical Vibe by Mr. Jovimel Tahan, a Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management 1 student again. Very unique. I think the dessert resembles the coconut, as you can see, as the star of his dessert. So the coconut and white chocolate ganache mousse, half coated with milk chocolate, nestled on whipped milk chocolate ganache, chocolate crumble, then topped with mango coulis. Served with slices of fresh mangoes, chocolate crumble, and fudge brownies. So this is my first time to see a coconut, a dessert that resembles the physical appearance of a coconut. So very much a strong effort by Mr. Jovi Meltahan for his tropical vibe. So So for our entry number 7, we have Mr. Anferni Lian Aguilar, a Bachelor of Science in Hospitality Management student, 4th year. So we can see his chocolate moist cake there. He's plated it and dusted it with, I think that is cocoa powder. So that is again Mr. Aguilar with his chocolate moist cake. For our entry number 8, we have Miss Andrea Comi's chocolate flan. So Miss Comi is a Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management 1 student. So the chocolate flan is almost the same with the regular leche flan. The difference is that she added cocoa powder to the leche flan recipe and it became the chocolate flan. So I think again very much Davao. Davao is already exhibiting the strong industry of our cacao and chocolate making industry here in our country. So that is very much exhibited in our competitions here in our dessert plating competition. So that is again Miss Andrea Comi with her chocolate flan dessert. So thank you very much. For our 9th entry, so here we have Maria Angeline Iran of Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management 1 student once again with her Theobroma y Durio. Very interesting name. So it is a chocolate moist cake with durian toffee toppings. So aside from cacao, it is very well known around the country, ASEAN region and in the world that Davao is a strong competitor when it comes to the durian fruit among others. So that is again Miss Iran with her Theobroma y Durio. So for our entry number 10, we have Miss Princess Therese H. Leron, a BSCM2 student with her pomelo frost dessert. So as you can see, there is her dessert. A pomelo-based mousse with pomelo sponge cake covered in pomelo ganache and streusel at the bottom. So you can see, aside from durian cacao, Davao is also famous for its pomelo, and here she truly made the pomelo the star of her dessert. So again, that is Miss Leron with her pomelo frost, ladies and gentlemen. So for our entry number 11, we have Mr. Earl Renan Panes, BSCM2, with his matcha sponge cake with light white chocolate cream mousse, walnut brittle, and durian sorbet. So it is a fusion of Japanese and French cuisine paired with a king of tropical fruits from Davao City, the Davao sorbet. So that looks good. Excuse me for that. So that is again Mr. Panes. So here we have entry number 12, Mr. An Pyong Chul, a Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management 1 student once again, with his lava cake dusted with, I think that is powdered sugar. So for our entry number 13, we have Miss Rosaline B. Kizon, BSCM1 student with her chocolate flan with mango cream. So in her dessert, we can see 2 Davao ingredients, the chocolate and the mango. So chocolate flan is a cold dessert served with mango cream, in which this accompanies the sweetness of the flan and some taste of mango cream. This dessert composed of 2 local ingredients from Davao, which was again mango and cow. The combination of those 2 ingredients in one dish would give you a unique taste of a flan that you had never expected. So very much well thought of by Miss Kizon. So that is again her chocolate flan with mango cream. So thank you very much. Moving on with our entry number 4, we have Miss Arisa Kobayashi, BSCM1 student, with her durian mousse. Creamy durian mousse dessert topped with pure dark chocolate sprinkles and plated with white chocolate buttons. So that is again Miss Kobayashi with her durian mousse. For our entry number 15, we have Miss Rachel May G. Moncopa, an Australian Grand Diploma student first year with her leche flan, a classic Filipino dessert, of course. Leche flan can refer to two different things, either a baked custard dessert topped with caramel, similar to the French creme caramel, or a tart-like sweet pastry with a filling called a fruit flan. Because egg-based custard, it flan is baked in a water bath in the oven. So that is Miss Moncopa with her leche flan for our entry number 15. Next is our entry number 16. So we have a lot of competitors, of course, for our dessert plating competition. So here we have entry number 16, Miss Lizel Retiza, a BSCM1 student with her banana cheesecake brownie. The banana cheesecake brownie is a dessert that is perfect for those who wants a balanced sweet taste brownie. So, of course, aside from the cacao, the durian, the pomelo, Davao is also very prominent in the agriculture side when it comes to banana production and of course exportation to other countries. So here she presented it with the banana cheesecake brownie. So that is Miss Retiza once again, ladies and gentlemen. For our entry number 17, we have the Messy Fallen Mango by Mr. Kev Alexis P. Viduya, Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management 1 student. So his messy fallen mango is a combination of mango and melted chocolate mousse with a piece of log under is a buttercream frosting, and on the bottom is a chocolate ganache. So again, that is Mr. Duya with his messy fallen mango. For our entry number 18, we have Miss Rhea Arquion, a Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management 1 student with her Wild Butterfly Pea ice cream cake. So this is among the first that I have seen an ice cream cake here presented in our plated dessert competition. So this is a moist cake with avocado ice cream. So Davao is also famous for avocados, especially I think it is during the summers, of course. So that is again Miss Rhea with her Wild Butterfly Pea ice cream cake for our entry number 18. Entry number 19 is the Deconstructed Halo Halo by Miss L.A. Ruth Fulgarinas, a BSCM 3 student. So, a famous Filipino cold dessert consists of different local ingredients with a twist in the preparation of components, then presented on a whole new level, truly a whole new level. This is the first time I ever seen a deconstructed halo-halo. So that is again Miss Fulgarinas with her deconstructed halo-halo. So for entry number 20, we have Mr. Jari Labajo, a BSCM1 student with his puto cassava. So the puto cassava made from grated cassava with light brown sugar and grated coconut. So that is Mr. Labajo's puto cassava, ladies and gentlemen. For our entry number 21, we have Malagos Panacota by Mr. Luis Jericho H. Nartates, BSCM2 student. So very Davao. Davao is of course known for Malagos, most especially when it comes to tourist sites. So molded chilled dessert topped with special Malagos chocolates and refreshing butterfly pea flour. So that is the Malagos Panacota by Mr. Nartates, ladies and gentlemen. For our entry number 22, we have Leche Flan, the Mango Cherry by Mr. Miko Saberdo, BSCM1 student. Leche Flan with dried mangoes with the red ruby cherry sauce. So of course, dried mangoes is very common pasalubong for our fellow Filipinos outside of our country. They're very famous for that, of course, as well. For our entry number 23, We have the mango coconut cake by Miss Colleen Bertuccio, BSCM1 student. So very Davao, as you can see there in her plated dessert, resembling the Davao Life is Here logo, as you can see. That is a mango coconut cake, is a two-layered cake that has a mango chiffon cake and coconut flavored whipped cream filling up with mango jelly. So that is the mango coconut cake of Miss Colleen Bertuccio. And for our last entry, we have Mr. Alec Adobas, a master diploma student first year with his banana mango chocolate moist cake. So that is the chocolate moist cake topped with banana sorbet and mango puree. So that there are 3 Davao ingredients present in his dessert: banana, mango, and cacao. So that is Mr. Adobas with his banana mango chocolate moist cake, ladies and gentlemen. So that caps off our plated dessert competition. So there are 24 official entries that were presented. So those were all posted prior to our event this afternoon in our respective Facebook pages. You can like, love, share, comment to show your support to our fellow students as well. So it goes to show that skill is, although the economic activities in our country remains to be in a slower pace, skill still is developing within our students, manifesting the core value of dynamism and excellence in our institution. So that is again our dessert plating competition rather. So moving forward with our second culinary competition for this afternoon is our cake display competition. So like the dessert plating competition, the cake display is already judged prior to posting of different pictures in our Facebook pages. So let us proceed with the reading of the mechanics for our cake display competition. So of course, aside from the earlier mentioned proper kitchen clothing, cake display competition is prepared by the participants with a bento size cake. So it is 5 to 6 inches in diameter. Participants can present only 1-tier cake and a maximum of 2-tiered cake. So all cakes that are presented with us this afternoon are all edible. All decorations that are present there are all edible, ladies and gentlemen. So of course, the theme must be reflected in the cake display. That is again rebooting hospitality, tourism, and culinary skills on screen. Today's response, tomorrow's success. For our criteria of judging, we have uniqueness, elegance, and fine decoration. That is 0 to 10 points. Technique shown into their cake display is 0 to 10 as well. Visual impact is 0 to 10 points. Degree of difficulty is 0 to 5 points. Reflection to the theme is 0 to 5 points, with a total possible points of 50 points. So let us begin the viewing of our different entries for the cake display competition. With our entry number 1, we have Mr. Renzo Luis Lopez, a Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management student, with his 2-tiered Oreo vanilla bento cake with cookies and cream filling covered in fondant. So according to him, his explanation is that the laptop, so as you can see at the top of his cake, is representing the online classes that are being held today. The figurines as the youth, the institution, industry, success. The power button in the center represents the reboot part of our theme, or the new beginnings. The blue fondant covering white clouds signifies success and new heights. The white chocolate wire details connecting from the power button to the laptop means that everyone is united in these times of challenges. And the yellow light bulbs means authenticity and the ideas. So very much well thought of by Mr. Lopez with his 2-tiered Oreo vanilla bento cake with cookies and cream filling covered in fondant. So that is again Mr. Lopez Renzo Luis. For our entry number 2, we have Mr. Jal Owen B. Di Pedro, BSCM1 student with his chocolate mocha cake with choco frosting. So there you can see mocha very much present on his cake with the color of his outer appearance. So of course topped with cake and sprinkles, and there are, I think that is a chocolate sauce. So that is Mr. Jal Owen B. Di Pedro with his mocha cake with chocolate frosting. For our entry number 3, we have Miss Maria Bianca J. Odan with her vanilla sponge cake with Swiss buttercream and marshmallow fondant. So at the bottom of her cake, we can see 3 books representing hard work, belief, and patience. And also in her cake, there are islands of the world being connected with an airplane. And of course, at the top of her cake is a miniature chef figurine. So that is again Miss Maria Bianca J. Odan with her vanilla sponge cake with Swiss buttercream and marshmallow fondant. For our entry number 4, we have Miss Jill Ramos, BSCM4, with her chocolate cake. So in her cake, we can see again a chef figurine on top with our event name, Global Skills 2021. Also in her cake present is the logos of the JIB International Schools. And on our right side of our screens, I think that is the Philippine Airlines logo. And on the left side is the Marriott Hotels logo. Also present on her cake is a fondant lettering with the theme for this year's Global Skills. So that is Miss Jill Ramos with her chocolate cake, ladies and gentlemen. For our entry number 5, we have Miss Chelay Tatoy, a Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management 3 student with her round around cake. So I think all those decorations are fondant. So in her cake, you can see a laptop, a rolling pin. I can see on the top, a chef's knife, the islands of the world, and her cake. There are also representations of the tourism industry with the airplane, the clouds, and of course the cap that is present at the bottom. And I think the left side of the cake at the bottom part, I think that is a chef's knife roll. So that is again Miss Chelay Tatoy with her round around cake. For our entry number 6, we have Miss Kenley Luyao, a Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management 1 student with her chocolate moist cake. So there we can see her cake that is chocolate moist, decorated with flowers in the colors blue, light blue, mint green, I think that is peach. And on top are kitchen tools and equipment. The naming of you is, I think that is a spatula. So that is Miss Luyao's chocolate moist cake. For our last entry, we have Miss Nicole Ondap, Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management 1 student with her bento cake. So as you can see, I think that is a chocolate cake decorated with white and blue and sky blue frostings sprinkled with different decorations there. So that is Miss Ondap's bento cake, ladies and gentlemen. So that caps off our cake display competition entries. So before we proceed with our charcuterie board making competition, can we get a thumbs up or a love reaction from our audience to show your support, of course, for your fellow students during the dessert plating competition and cake displays? May I show everyone's reaction? Do you like it? Do you love it? Or do you want to place a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? So there we go. We majority of our students loves all the entries that are being presented here. So before we also officially begin with our charcuterie board making competition, we would like to remind everyone that at the last part of our program for this afternoon, for this competition, we will be having our entree challenge, which will be presented live to you by two competitors, which will be presented later on. That is a 1 hour and 30-minute competition showing the different skills of our culinary students in the kitchen. So they will be presenting different dishes, which also be presented to you later on. Of course, our judges will also be present to judge them in terms of their technique, up-to-date presentation, use of ingredients, among others. So wave your support for your fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. So let us move forward. We have the charcuterie board making competition. So entry number 1 is Miss Steffi Abad. So there we have her charcuterie board with red wine on the side. So we can see there grapes. We have ham, honey. There is also breadsticks. I think that is breadsticks, and oranges, among others. There are also pea flowers present on her board. So that is Miss Steffi Abad for our entry number 1. For our entry number 2, we have Miss Buayan Nurol Iza with her board. Here we can see present, I think that is the brie cheese, oranges, crackers, grapes, ham, and some snacks that are present there. Also on her side is a red wine to pair up those food items present on her board. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that is Miss Buayan Nurol Iza for our entry number 2. For our entry number 3 with Miss Camby Ronette Valerie, we have there her board with ham, apples, crackers, oranges, pretzels, chips. I think that sauce is salsa, and grapes, paired with, of course, a wine on the side. Perfect for 2, since there are 2 glasses with dried flowers for her aesthetic on the side. So that is for our entry number 3. For entry number 4, we have Miss Celestial Suzanne with her board. Also present in the side are 2 wine glasses, perfect for your getaway on the weekends. So we have on her board present are breadsticks, peanuts, apples, crackers, cucumbers, pretzels, and grapes with chocolate dip. So that is Miss Suzanne with her board for our entry number 4. Entry number 5 is from Miss El Chico Kate Angelique with her board. On the left side, we can see a red wine. On the right side, I think those are olive oils. So on her board is a brie cheese, crackers, ham. We have also dates present there, apples, pineapples, grapes, peanuts. So that is Miss El Chico with her board as our entry number 5. For entry number 6, that is from Mr. Timothy Dalton Frias with his board rather. So present on his board is a green apple, toasted bread, spam as you can see there, cheese. We also have oranges, pepero is also there. Also have pretzels, crackers, and pistachio nuts and olives on the center. So that is Mr. Frias with his board for our entry number 6. For our entry number 7, we have Miss Johanna Neo Labaranto for our entry number 7. Present on her board are cheese, crackers, honey. We also have olives there and some delis present on her board. So that is entry number 7 again from Miss Labarento, Johanna Neo, ladies and gentlemen. For our entry number 8, we have Mr. Laurente Shaina. Sorry. So on the side is a wine with two wine glasses, perfect for a weekend getaway, of course, again. On her board, present are oranges, brie cheese, grapes, crackers. I can see a Toblerone chocolate there in the farther side. Also have ham, other delis, crackers, and some pretzels present on her board. So that is Miss Laurente Shaina for our entry number 8. For our entry number 9, that is from Miss Isabel Beatriz Magno. So on her board, we can see different takes on her charcuterie board making. So as the aesthetics, you have there some dried flowers and some Filipino mats. So on her board present are oranges, breadsticks, cheese, pretzels, crackers, grapes. I think those are cherry tomatoes. And some different snacks are also present on her board. So that is again entry number 9 from Miss Isabel Beatriz Magno. For entry number 10, we have Miss Arlene A. Porganan. There is her board. We can see some oranges, cheese, different breadstick snacks, olives, crackers, grapes, oranges, and I think that cheese on the top left side is queso de bola, if I am not mistaken. So that is very classic, especially during the holiday seasons in our country. So that is again entry number 10 from Miss Porganan Arlene. So for entry number 11, that is Miss Patugan Jenny with her board. So present on her board are a lot of selections of hams present, of course, in the center. There are also cheese, the brie cheese, different breadstick snacks, lemon, apples, crackers, cheese, oranges, and pretzels. So that is from Miss Jenny for our entry number 11. For our entry number 12, we have Mr. Evan Floyd Rosalita with his board. So here in his board, we can see queso de bola, bread. We also have crackers. We have also different selections of delis, oranges, apples, lemon, almond nuts, pistachio nuts, grapes, and cherries on the right side present. So that is again entry number 12 by Mr. Rosalita Evan Floyd. So for entry number 13, we have Miss Julian Daniel Salise with her board here. We can see some green apples, oranges. We also have different selections of delis. Their present also is, I think that is French baguette, brie cheese, kiwis, oranges, crackers, grapes, and other crackers present there. That is entry number 13 by Miss Salise Julian. So for entry number 14, for our charcuterie board making, we have Mr. Ayman Rain S. Suliak with his board. On a round board present here are different types of cheese. Also a wide selection of delis present there. We also have peperos, nuts, grapes, dates on the top left side. Green and red grapes are present. And those are among the food items present on Mr. Ayman's charcuterie board for our entry number 14, my dear fellow students and our dear teachers. Entry number 15 is from Mr. Umali Nicolo with his board. Here we can see a red wine on top of his board as part of his aesthetics. We also have present on his board are green and red apples, green and red grapes as well, different selection of crackers, oranges. There is also a loaf bread with raisins on its recipe as well. So that is from Mr. Nicolo O'Malley for our entry number 15. For our entry number 16, we have from Mr. Dominic Uy with his board here on a circular board. Present on his board are different types of cheese, crackers, breadsticks are also present around his board on the sides. There is also ham, apples, peanuts, and grapes on the center. That is entry number 16 from Mr. Dominic Uy. And I think this is our last entry. So on the chat box, you can see different reactions from our students. Very much well appreciated reactions, positive reactions to note that. So for entry number 17, we have Miss Hale Myra Incierto with her charcuterie board. As part of our aesthetics, I think that is lemon juice there on the top. That is being placed on the garden, perfect for a weekend getaway with your friends and family. So present on her board are oranges, crackers, pretzels, different selections of delis. There are also cucumbers present and a brie cheese on the top of her board. So that is from Miss Incierto Hale Myra. So that is it for our charcuterie board making. So before we proceed with the introduction of judges and the competitions that are slated for this afternoon, may we read various reactions from our students at the chat box. So from Miss Edda Sam Castigon, our HM teacher, she says that it feels like summer. So from Mr. Jopet Solis, we also have his comment, I'm hungry. From Miss Anne, we have, if you are my students now, I will exempt you all in the final exam. Perfect for all the students who are very much presenting their dishes and different outputs for this afternoon. So Miss Georgie Rose Parondo Ang says she's very proud of the outputs. So that is it from our chat box. So I think we are not yet ready for our competition since we have finished the outputs presentation earlier than scheduled. So before we proceed with our entree challenge and our minute cooking competition, I know you're very excited about those. So we'd like to make, looking back in the 3-day competition of the global skills, we have showcased different skills that are present in our school. We have the culinary, the hospitality, and tourism side. So of course, we know that during the pandemic, these industries are very affected since, as mentioned by our keynote speakers on the first day, on last March 15, the tourism, hospitality, and culinary industries are human touch based. So there are no technology in the world as of now that could ever replace that. And I think there are no technology that will ever replace the warmth and hospitality and skill and technique that the hospitality, tourism, or culinary professional will be able to cope with. That will be able a technology to copy those skills. So of course, it is up to our challenge as future professionals of these industries to continue learning, to remain competent, of course, to remain up to date with our techniques, and of course to show that with time and experience, our knowledge and our skills only improve and does not diminish. So those are very much words of wisdom to ponder upon that I have been able to realize during the talks of our industry speakers, in which those industry speakers are very much sought after, as mentioned during program last March 15. They are sought after in the sense that they are already professionals in the field and has enough enough experiences and skills to share to us as we move forward with our career development. So let me read to you here on our screen the charcuterie board making mechanics. So the participant should have one participant. It is open to all JIB International School students, including, of course, our senior high school and school for work program. The students can choose any ingredients available at home. Number 4 is the charcuterie board entry must be created by the participant. Number 5 is the participant's presentation should be equally captivating and unique. As you can see, there different aesthetics are employed by our students during the presentation of their outputs. The entry submission requires a photo of the charcuterie board presentation. Number 7, the participant should think a one-liner caption for the presentation. Number 8, the final submission of the photo will be on March 10, 2021, which was a week ago, ladies and gentlemen. There will be a 5% deduction on the overall score for the late submission. The board will be posted in the Georgie Ilagan College in Business and Tourism page on March 12, 2021. And the judges' decision is final and irrevocable. So I think judges on different competitions are very much well equipped and has enough knowledge, are competent enough to judge us, of course. So that is why there are no questions that can ever be posted on their judgments and their decisions. So for the criteria for judging, we have originality, that's 20 points. Creativity and cleanliness, that is 20 points. Photo quality is 20 points. And social media present, then including the number of likes and shares, that is 40 points with a total of 100 points. So share your outputs, mention your family, friends of friends, to have as many likes and shares as you can on your outputs on the respective Facebook pages present. So we are already being able to manifest and establish our presence not only in our school, in the neighboring communities around our school vicinity, but also in the international stage as we employ the use of social media. So that is a very nice strategy of our school, not only to market itself, but also to show the products of the school in reference to our future employers and for our families to see as well. So here we are. So different comments are available in our chat box. We have, let us read some. Let me pick it up. So Miss Georgie Rose Parondoang says, congratulations also to the TMHMGD, everyone, for a very excellent output and presentation. Sir Bong is asking for the entry of the fourth year BSc. We're very sorry since we are preparing for our 10-day online restaurant operation. So if you would like to order, I would like to advertise our online business, our restaurant. That is Chick and Dough, ladies and gentlemen. We will be serving you creme brulee donuts and Korean double fried chicken. Different menus are present there in our Facebook pages. You can like and you can share those. And you can also order for your cravings to be satisfied. So we are very much anticipating. We will be starting our operations on Thursday. We are available on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for this week. So next week, we will also be posting our schedule. You can now order online from our Google form present on our FB page as well. That is again Chicken Dough operated, planned, and owned by the Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management fourth year graduating batch or already graduating ladies and gentlemen. So please help us. Tulungan nyo kaming makagraduate. Please order our menu items. So that is for our business. Aside, I would also like to mention that our restaurant operation is made possible through the guidance of our chef instructor, Chef. So that is it. I think we are already ready for our entree challenge and a la minute cooking competition. So we'll just be waiting confirmation from Chef Philip Diaz if our judges are already here. So I have seen the credentials and the names of our judges. They are extremely capable of judging, more than capable, of course, to judge the different competitions here in our Global Skills 2021. They are experienced in the arena of the different cooking techniques and in the hotel industry as well. So I think we are ready. We already have the confirmation from Chef P to start the entree challenge. So I know you're very excited to see how our competitors compete for the entree challenge. So to introduce our judges, that is me once again. So I will now be introducing our judges. So for our first judge, he is a 2-year chef de partie at Rembrandt Hotel and Suites, the 2019 awardee for the Best Mexican Restaurant by Bangkok Best Restaurant Award 2019. He is also a 3-year chef de partie at Broken Eggs, which serves Gasto Spanish tapas, senior cook for Gula Bangkok, with a special events catering for upscale molecular gastronomy. 2 years former sous chef at El Lugar, a resto bar that serves fusion Spanish tapas. And he is a former sous chef of the Seafood Delight restaurant in Ecoland, Davao City, formerly owned by our very own chef Pepot Diaz. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome our first judge for this afternoon, Chef Arman Jan Arquinza. So moving on with our second judge. Our second judge is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in General Science at the Holy Cross Davao College Incorporated 2011 to 2013. She earned her certificate program in cooking and baking skills at the Center for Asian Culinary Studies in December 2015 to March 2016. She also earned her diploma in baking and pastry arts at Pastry Arts Academy Philippines from January 2018 to May 2018. She is from the Philippine Pastry Forum Masterclass in Artisan Breads, Sourdough, and Binorisserie with Sebastian Chevalier, MOF Baker at Treston International College year 2019. Her work experience includes the hot, cold, pastry, Chinese, Japanese, butchery, receiving area, showroom, polo bistro, and staff kitchen at Marco Polo Davao in the year 2016. He is a pastry chef and assistant cook at Café de Flor in the year 2016. In the year 2017, she became the pastry chef and chef de partie at Café de Flor. She is also a baker and master chef, a pastry chef at the Bread Maker 1974 in the year 2018. And lastly, she became the bread and pastry and culinary part-time instructor at our very own Institute of International Culinary and Hospitality Entrepreneurship, or iChef, between September 2018 to December 7, 2018. She is the sole proprietor of Zarita Food Hub, Breads and Pastries. Let us welcome the second judge for this afternoon, Miss Chef Zarita May Santa Cruz. So welcome, Chef. For our third and final judge, he is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Accountancy at the University of Batangas in 1999. Also finished Culinary Arts at the Center for Culinary Arts in Katipunan, Loyola Heights, Manila. Currently, he's an entrepreneur and owned the Patty's Kitchen Catering Services. Ladies and gentlemen, our third and final judge is Chef Mark Sayas. So we are very excited to welcome our judges present this afternoon. So I think they are all here present on our screen. So I think our competitors are also ready. Can we all now, before we, of course, proceed with the competition proper, let us first present the mechanics and criteria of judging for our entree challenge. The entree challenge by far for me is the most challenging of all the competitions. So each participant must of course wear the proper kitchen clothing, which includes the chef's jacket, apron, and skull cap, or a plain white t-shirt, an apron, a cap, or a hairnet. Of course, we would like to maintain the proper dress clothing of our participants in order for us to adhere with the basic health protocols and food safety of our competition. For each participant must prepare, plate, and present one serving portion of an entree dish composing of protein, starch, sauce, and sides of vegetables. So you would ask me, why is the entree challenge by far the most challenging for you, Romeo? It is because participants will be randomly picking their protein, which includes beef, pork, chicken, and fish. So proteins are only limited to those four mentioned. They will pick it through draw lots. So of course, special considerations will be given to participants with those restrictions of the above mentioned proteins, with special considerations, of course, to religious beliefs. Next, all raw food items should be brought, trimmed, and peeled but uncut or unshaved. So all preparations must be done within the time limit given to our participants. All garnish and carvings must be edible. Competitors must maintain the workstation neat and clean, as this will be part of the judging criteria. So of course, we pride ourselves to being on top on the implementation of our hazard analysis and critical control points. Lastly, we have participants must prepare the entree in 90 minutes or 1 hour and 30 minutes. All items in the plate must be edible. So those are our mechanics for our entree challenge. So next, for our criteria for judging for our entree challenge, we have handling and hygiene, that is 0 to 15 points. Correct preparation, that is 0 to 15 points as well. Practical and up-to-date presentation takes a 50 points of our total points. Degree of difficulty is 0 to 10 points, and visual impact of plating and all that is 0 to 10 points, with a total possible score of 100 points. So moving forward, I think our competitors are now ready. We have Miss Divine Humalon from Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management second year class, and we have Mr. Shane Ates as the second competitor. So here is Miss Divine Humalon for her introduction. So there we go. We saw Mr. Ates and Miss Humalon on our their video introductions, and also their cameras are already turned on. Here is Miss Divine and Mr. John Michael. So are we ready, competitors? Raise your hands if you are all ready. There we can see. Okay, so we will now be starting with our timer. So we will be starting at 2:07 p.m. and we'll be ending at 3:37 p.m. So ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome our competitors for this year's Entree Challenge, Ms. Humalon and Mr. Ates. So are you ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Timer starts now. So prior to their prior to this competition, we already have already required them to submit their recipes for the checking of our judges, which will be presented later on. So for Mr. John Michael Ates, Bachelor of Science in Culinary Management 1 student, he is also the first year iChef SSG representative. So for his entree, we would be preparing chicken katsu stroganoff with caramelized onions. So it is a chicken stroganoff with a Japanese. So for his protein, he picked chicken, of course, as mentioned in our dish name. So among his ingredients, it includes pasta, water, salt, pepper, sugar, chicken stock, wine, lemon, cream, roux, oil, onion, garlic, chicken, of course, mushroom, honey, flour, egg, breadcrumbs, and potatoes. So you can see Mr. Ates already preparing his dish there, doing his mise en place. For Miss Humalon, she is preparing her cashew nut crusted rack of beef in demi-glaze with mashed potatoes. Describes it as slightly sweet and tangy in flavor. So obviously the protein she picked is beef. Her ingredients includes rack of beef, cashew nuts, breadcrumbs, potatoes, carrots, broccoli, white onion, garlic, pepper, milk, butter, soy sauce, tomato sauce, salt, sugar, and oregano. So we are already 7 minutes into our competition. I mean, we still have 87 minutes and 5 seconds left. So already lost 3 minutes in our competition for our entree challenge. So of course, aside from our judges, we also have here our faculty and staff who are showing their support and are also looking into, are the students following what they have learned in our lessons. So of course, they will be employing all techniques that they can employ into what they are preparing for this afternoon's dish. So in our chat box also, we can see classmates and fellow students who are showing their support to Shane and to Divine. So again, we would like to thank our panel of judges, Chef Zarita, Chef Mark, and Chef AJ for being present with us this afternoon to help determine the winners of these competitions in our Global Skills 2021. So stay tuned as we see our competitors still competing for the challenges of the entree challenge. So here we can see Miss Divine and Mr. John Michael Shane wearing the proper attire for cooking. So we have here Miss Divine wearing her laboratory chef's jacket, all white chef's jacket with her skull cap and her apron. And of course, in the left side of our chef's jacket, a lecture, may it be lecture chef's jacket or laboratory chef's jacket, there is a pocket for our utensils that are used for tasting. So that includes our spoon, our fork, or in some instances, our knives as well. We can also place there our ball pen to be able to write certain notes on our menu order slips or our recipes. So for Mr. Shane Atas, we can see him wearing his chef's jacket as well. I think that is a lecture chef's jacket since it has a orange lining. So we use those for our lectures during our classes. But in this instance, I think he has left his laboratory chef's jacket. That's why he's already wearing his lecture chef's jacket, which is also acceptable in certain circumstances, especially this as we experience the pandemic as well. Have still 83 minutes and 16 seconds, so they are doing their mise en place for their different dishes. Huh? So here we can see Mr. Ates placing a towel before he placed his chopping board. So it is common practice. In our school, we use the non-slip mat. And this instantly, Mr. Ates is using a towel, a damp towel, because this avoids in the event that the chopping board can slip into our workstations. Of course, these are also part of our HACCP trainings. So this will avoid injuries to us. And of course, this will also help us in our precise and correct preparation for our mise en place. Again, if you are on your homes, you can use a damp towel to place under your chopping boards to avoid your chopping boards to slip from your workstations. That will, of course, avoid the event of an injury or cuts and wounds. Miss Divine is already preparing her cashew nuts and breadcrumbs and garlic, which she is placing into her food processor. So the food items that are present in the food processor, which Miss Divine is preparing, is the crust for her rack of beef for her dish for this afternoon. So she's already pulling it up and putting it on her bowl, preparing it for her rack of lamb. Here, Mr. Ates is already, I think that is his pepper in the pepper mill. So as we learned in our school, it is advisable to use the peppercorns and then grinding it fresh once you use it, because it will be able to exude different type of flavor and aroma as compared to the pepper that is already being crushed, that is available in your supermarket. So if I were you, I will advise you to buy some peppercorns and a pepper mill or a mortar and pestle to freshly grind your peppercorns. So you can also see during their mise en place that they are doing it with ease, slicing each ingredient with ease, cutting it and preparing it. So it is advisable for you to sharpen your knives prior to your mise en place and cooking process. Why is that so? Because we learned in our school that using dull knives are more dangerous than using sharp knives as well. So when we use sharper knives, we do our preparation with ease, with less effort. So that is very much advisable to avoid cuts and burns. So you can sharpen your knives. So here we can see Mr. Ates already putting his pasta, already cooking it on boiling water. I think that is with salt in the boiling water. So here we see our competitors taking their time and of course remaining calm despite the nervous feeling that the challenge is already being imposed upon them, because we should remain calm despite the challenges, because it will help us to bring out our techniques. So there should be calm under pressure, as we call it. As we can see, our competitors are very well organized with their mise en place, putting it into respective food bowls for their gastronorms, placing it on one side with their tools and equipment on the other, because this would be able to help us to quickly finish our food and correctly doing it. So all mise en place as advised, and as it should be, all mise en place must be done prior to the cooking process, so that during the cooking process you are truly focused with what you are doing and cooking. So again, Global Skills 2021 is being broadcast live on our respective Facebook pages at the George Ilagan College of Business and Tourism, the JIB Facebook page as well. So you can view it on our Facebook pages. And for our dear students, please don't forget to fill up your attendance forms that are being sent to you prior to the holding of our competition for this afternoon. So here we can see Mr. Atas already dusting with flour his chicken and then putting it in his egg wash. And then next is the breading. So some people are asking during the early phases of my iChef academic journey that why do we place the egg wash second first with the flour, because it allows when the protein is being dipped with a wet ingredient, since the protein is already quite moist, the egg wash will not be able to stick to our protein. So we need to dust our proteins first with flour. In some instances, we use seasoned flour with different herbs and spices, and then dipping it into our egg wash so that the egg wash would be able to stick to our protein that is dry, wet, and then lastly, after we're going to place it with our breading. So that is dry, wet, and then dry. So prior to our frying or searing. So that is being done by Mr. Atas there. So Miss Divine is already waiting for her a dish to be cooked there. As you can see, she is pleasantly waiting for it to be cooked, to be prepared. So ladies and gentlemen, competitors, you still have 71 minutes left. Now it's 70 minutes and 50 seconds left. So we already lost 20 minutes into our competition. You can see here our competitors. So Mr. Ates is already frying his chicken katsu, and Miss Divine is waiting for her dish to be cooked there on her side at her stove. So can we have our students and our teachers send their reactions for our competitors? Can we get a love reaction, like reaction, or a round of applause from our teachers and our students and our guests as well, so we can see their different reactions? are according to the recipe of Miss Divine. So those who are curious on what Miss Divine is waiting, Miss Divine is boiling her potatoes for her mashed potatoes. So there we can see it. She's waiting for it. So competitors, you still have 68 minutes and 34 seconds left. So if our competitors are already done, so sorry to disturb you. If you are already done with your plating, you can present it on our cameras so that our judges are able to look at it. So Mr. Ates has already pulled up his pasta from the boiling water. There we can see on the left side of our screen. He has placed his pasta on a colander for it to drain, for the water to drain. Of course, he is also slowly ready pulling up his chicken katsu as it is already done into its cooking process. Miss Divine already pulled up her stock pot. I think that contains our, I think those are potatoes. Those are the rack of beef. So the rack of beef was first boiled so that it would be tender prior to roasting it. So Miss Divine is already putting the rack of beef. You can see there. So the rack of beef, according to her recipe, is composed of mashed cashew nuts combined with breadcrumbs and garlic. The beef was seasoned with salt and pepper. So she pan fried the beef 1 minute per side and then coated the beef with cashew nuts and then transferred into a baking tray which she will be seasoning with soy sauce, tomato sauce, brown sugar, salt, and pepper. Adding the sliced vegetables and then we'll be roasting it for 20 to 25 minutes. So Mr. Ates is already, I think he is already preparing his pasta sauce for his stroganoff. So in the pan, he is placing butter, his mushrooms, a little olive oil there as he pulled it up, stirring it on the pan. You can see it there. It is also noteworthy to observe that our participants has their towels on along with their aprons. As you can see there, Miss Divine is using plain white towel while Mr. Ates is using a blue, and that I think that is a peach hand towel. So towels are very important for us, especially in cooking. Able to wipe off, especially during plating and during our bisenta. So usually we use 2 towels, one for our wet towels and one for a dry towel for drying different tools and equipment. So all those towels are used properly for cleaning purposes. So we do not, usually we do not wipe off our working stations with our towel because that working stations tends to be a little dirty. So we use a different towel for that. So we are already 60, we still have 63 and 45 seconds remaining. 63 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. So again, our theme for this year's Global Skills 2021 is rebooting hospitality, tourism, and culinary skills on screen. Today's response is tomorrow's success. So, pondering upon it, rebooting, according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, it also refers to new beginnings. So, of course, different pandemic and different challenges that comes with the pandemic are making us take the time to discover how to begin anew as we move forward with a new normal during our time. So the hospitality and tourism are very much affected since global economic activities have remained to pace slowly. Air travel has been restricted and are constantly being banned from across the world. So we saw Miss Divine earlier mashing her potatoes for the dish. So again, Miss Divine's dish is called the cashew nut crusted rack of beef in demi-glace with mashed potatoes. So according to her, it is slightly sweet and tangy in flavor. Mr. Ates, on the other hand, is preparing his chicken katsu stroganoff with caramelized onion. So according to him, chicken stroganoff, it is a chicken stroganoff with a Japanese katsu twist. Here, Mr. Ates already preparing the sauce for his stroganoff dish. And Miss Divine is already prepping her mashed potatoes. So along with what I learned during my journey here in iChef is that we should continually taste our dish during the cooking process so that we are able to adjust the seasoning from time to time. If it's too salty, we add a stock or water or pepper. If it's too bland, then we add our seasoning such as our salt, our pepper, among others. So also present with us this afternoon is our Corporate Dean, Dr. Gypsy Kasurao. We also have our OSA Director, Miss Sagario, who is also present with us today. It's been a year since we saw the faces of our instructors and our faculty and staff. So we are down to our last 60 minutes. So you competitors, you still have 1 hour left to finish your dishes. So again, we are live, broadcasted live on Facebook, on the pages of the Joji Ilagan College of Business and Tourism and the Institute of International Culinary and Hospitality and Entrepreneurship, or the iChef Facebook page. So ladies and gentlemen, our students, all our faculty and staff present, please stay tuned because after the entree challenge, we'll be presenting to you the ala minute cooking competition. So ala minute, the sounds of it is that it takes a couple of minutes for the competitors to prepare. So stay tuned for that. Ala minute is very nice, a very nice competition as well. It showcases the speed, the technique, and the charisma and passion of our fellow students. Also present with us today is the COO or the Chief Operating Officer of the Georgie Ilagan Georgie Ilagan International School, Miss Nicole Haubian Ledesma. Good afternoon, Miss. So dear competitors, we have 58 minutes left for our entree challenge. So again, for the benefit of everybody, all outputs of during the Global Skills 2021 are being posted on the different Facebook pages of the school, including the Georgie Ilagan College of Business and Tourism Facebook page and the iChef Facebook page. So all outputs that you saw earlier, the dessert plating, cake display, and charcuterie board making, among others, are being posted there. So if you saw it and then it seems appetizing to you and you want to take a look